These are brilliant cookies. Hi, and welcome to Lunch with Lisa, Weekend Treats Edition. And today, we're gonna make ooey gooey chocolate chip cookies with an umami twist. It's Lunch with Lisa. These cookies are to die for. They're crisp on the outside and chewy in the center. And they have a secret weapon, brown butter. We're gonna brown some butter today. I couldn't resist this recipe when I found it, so I had to make it for you guys. My friend in Australia has told me all about white miso paste. Hi, Abby. And I've had this tub sitting in my fridge for so long, I've used it only a few times. I wanted to try to figure out other ways to use it, and this chocolate chip cookie recipe seems like a good place to start. For this recipe, you're going to need 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter, white miso paste, dark muscovado sugar. I actually bought this to try it out for this recipe, or you could just use brown sugar, castor sugar. Look at this cute little bag. Or you can just use regular granulated sugar, 1 whole egg and 2 egg yolks. So you're gonna need 3 eggs, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, 200 grams of all-purpose flour, 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda, dark chocolate roughly chopped, or you could just use chocolate chips. That's what I'm using today. And if you want to be extra fancy, you can use some flaky salt on top at the end, but you don't need it. It's optional. So these cookies are going to take a little bit longer than normal. You're not going to heat your oven up right away, so hold off on that for a second. Step 1, put half the butter in a small pan and melt it over medium heat, swirling it often until the butter foams. Continue to cook, swirling and scraping the base of the pan with the heat-proof spatula until the butter smells nutty and toasted, and the milk solids have turned a deep golden brown. Pour the brown butter in a large bowl, scraping all the toasted bits from the bottom of the pan. Set aside to cool for 1 to 2 minutes. Then add the reserved butter cubes and the miso paste, stirring until they melt. This helps cool down the brown butter. If you don't want to use miso paste, you can just swap out your unsalted butter for salted butter. Step 2, add both the sugars to the bowl and beat with an electric hand mixer or in your stand mixer for about a minute until it's well combined. Add the egg, egg yolks, and vanilla and beat again until the sugar has mostly dissolved, about 2 more minutes. Step 3, sift in the flour and baking soda, then beat until just combined and almost no pockets of flour remain. Finally, fold in the chocolate, distributing it as evenly as you can through the dough. Now you're gonna set your cookie dough aside and let it rest for 10 minutes. Step 4, using an ice cream scoop or 2 large spoons, you're gonna portion the dough into 12 equal-sized balls. They're gonna be about 60 grams each. Arrange the dough balls neatly on a lined baking sheet. You only need 1 at this stage. Then cover and chill for at least 1 hour in your refrigerator. Or you can let it sit for up to 24 hours. So that makes this dough super flexible. Heck, you could even freeze these for later. This is the aging process. It's gonna allow your flour to fully hydrate within your dough and let that butter harden. This results in a cookie that's well spread and evenly baked. Step 5. After your cookie's been in the fridge for an hour or up to 24 hours, heat your oven up to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to bake these in batches, so just take 3 to 4 balls out of the fridge and place them on a baking sheet and set them well apart. Leave your other balls in the fridge until you're ready to bake with them. Step 6, and last but not least, you're going to put your balls in the oven and bake them for 12 to 14 minutes. You want them to be well spread and golden around the edges. When you take them out of the oven, this is when you're going to sprinkle with a little flaky salt if you have it. Let the cookies sit in the tray for 10 minutes to cool. They're a little too soft at this point to put on your cooling rack, so be patient. Then transfer your cookies to a cooling rack and cool them completely, if you can. I mean, I totally understand if you want to take a bite or a cookie or 2. And then just repeat your baking process for the remaining cookies until you have about 12 cookies. Look how big these cookies are. Oh my goodness, it's as big as my face. Here's what I found out. My first batch look really good, but they're very raw in the middle. And I put them at 350 degrees for 14 minutes, but I think my oven just runs a little cold. So I hiked my temperature up to 360? No. So I hiked my temperature up to 360 and put them in for 15 minutes, and they turned out more like this. So they're still gooey in the center, but they're fully cooked this time. Whereas these, the centers just kind of fall out. You can see it's kind of like raw dough. Let's give them a try. Oh yeah. There's the crunch. It's like the best of both worlds. You get like this crunchy exterior right around the edges and this gooey, soft center with all the chocolate. These are brilliant cookies. That brown butter just gives it this like buttery, toasty like flavor that's so different than any chocolate chip cookie I've ever eaten. And that muscovado sugar tastes way different than our brown sugar. So if you want to try it out, give it a shot. I'll leave a link to the muscovado sugar I bought on Amazon. That is so good, y'all. So good. And as for tasting any miso flavor, I don't at all, but I think there is like this umami kind of hint to it. I would have to make them without miso just to see. God, y'all, this cookie is a 10 out of 10. So I'm leaving the recipe down below and I hope you give it a shot and let me know how it goes. And happy weekend treating. If you like what you see and want to see more, hit that subscribe button down below. And if you'd like to help support me and keep this channel going, you can shop down at my Amazon links, buy anything on Amazon in the next 24 hours after you click the link, and I might receive a small commission. Or you could become a patron over on Patreon and join all these lovely people. Thank you. Patreon.com/lunchwithlisa. And it's always free to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. It's Lunch with Lisa. I did not mean to advertise for Polar. I've been drinking them lately. Like product placement. Put that over there. All right, you guys, I'm gonna try not to eat all these cookies.